So let's just try and convert this into a switch map. Now this is one of the very final thing I'm going to do for this course right here. We need to end the series, but I still want it in here. So we're going to convert this so we don't have two subscribes like we do right now. Subscribe, subscribe. I want to make this part into a switch map, and then we can subscribe only once in the very end, just to make this easier to read actually. So we're going to make this into a switch map instead of what we have here, a switch map. Now the switch map is again going to end up just sending something. The address request right here is just going to end up sending something that's not executed yet. It's just preparing to be executed. Now we want the switch map to actually execute is this create customer. So I'm just going to clean up the code a little bit, grabbing the constant variables, taking that out of the equation right here and putting it up here, because I don't need to. I can just grab the values right away when I save. I don't need them in there because I do not use the curly brackets in here. I don't want that, so I'm going to remove that. And then all I need to do is kind of just clean up this part right here. So instead of having a constant using the customer right here, I'm going to grab that information and put it directly in here when I create the customer. So this is how I create a customer now, just putting this actual customer in here instead of having the constant. Let's just get rid of the constant. There we go. Now the final thing I need to do is kind of move the subscribe out from here and actually put it all the way out here, so we're subscribing on the switch map instead of the actual customer right here. Now this might make sense, this might be crazy stuff, really up to you, but let's just read it again. I'm doing the fork join with all the requests, so now I'm going to send all the different requests. I'm going to take that. When that is done, I'm going to say then call the customer create service, but to avoid the two subscribes, I'm going to end up just subscribing in the very end down here. And one more thing I just want to do to wrap this up is doing this address in equals just empty the array so that there are no addresses available. Let's just see if this works as the final thing right here. We're still going to have the same amount of requests. The only difference is that hopefully we are now setting it up so that the code is easier to read, or at least easier when you get to know the system. Let's make Ole Johnson right here as the final guy, and let's put in an address for him. There we go, and another address, and a final address. There we go. And let's just save this now. The request is sent, the customer is created. Let's try and jump back to our customer, Ole Johnson down here, clicking him, and he has the address. Everything's running. Sweet! So we're actually up and running with a real request, sending real data back to a real backend as real request, multiple requests, getting data back, showing it in the UI. You have a fully running application. That's it for this series right here. There's so much more I want to tell you guys, but I have to continue now, and I'll make in series 5, I'll start converting this so that instead of using this complex fork join and craziness, we'll try and actually make it into a real usable request. See you in the final outro. Have fun.